Hi guys, welcome for this weekly community show. Welcome to everyone. I'm very happy to see you for another episode. Today we will be speaking about different things. First of all, some very interesting addition on the QA server in preparation for the patch that will happen next week. So next week, that's already the end of the month, the moment where we deliver this big monthly patch. It's a little bit less big and less important than February patch, but still there is quite some very interesting content and of course the new dungeon. But we're going to discuss about that further in the episode. But today I also have a special guest. Well, actually it's a pre-recorded interview of Charlizd, the wall builder, or OC guy, which is here to explain you everything about the dungeon, how he has created, and some other things. So it's very exciting. It's the first time that I'm doing a video with him, and it's the first but not the last. So I hope you're going to enjoy that. It has been quite a challenge to fit him and I together to record this. Of course, right now it's the middle of the night for him, so he cannot join the show at this time. So I hope you guys are going to enjoy this episode and all of the discussion that we are going to share today. I'm not going to summarize, no, I'm not going to read all of the notes today because I've done that last week. So if you want to read the explanation, either you check it out on the QA forum, it's written there, or you check last week's video where I've been reading and discussing about that. But basically what you can expect for next patch next week, it is first the depths. So it is the first stage. It's a very big dungeon that is situated in Red Shore Forest, but there will be different entrance and exit. And the first step is the first floor basically. And you will have 2 or 3 other phases. No. You will have 2 other phases after that one. First person view, that's another things you will have. You can already test that on the QA server right now. There will be, of course, some new quests that you cannot test because we keep them spoilerless, spoiler-free for you. There's obviously ton of quality of life change and some fixes, some improvement. Some quite important related to the combat is the aura change. So I'm going to read that again over here. Combat aura no longer need to be reapplied every time you re-enter combat stance. Once activated, it will reactivate every time you re-enter combat stance. However, after being knocked unconscious, giving up or zoning, those aura will need to be reactivated. So I think it's a big deal for the warlord and anyone using an aura. So, but there is plenty of other system that has been reworked on, and especially check out the skill change over here. We've been discussing about that last week, but have a look if you have not been aware of those. But the big change this week that we want to discuss about is something really new and that require your test and your discussion. Group elevated level, aka gel. Let's read that. Many of you have been raising concern about higher level NPC resist and how they were stifling the formation of group. Today we introduce a new feature that should make it a bit easier to form group with larger range of player level. So does it work? Strap in. Gel automatically raises a player effective level to the highest group member level with a few limitations. Only accounts for group member within range of one another, which is indicated by the +n value of the group window. That means your elevated level may change depending on which group member you are in range with. So you see that very easily. Is the name grayed off or is it close enough? So that's what indicates to which player you are in the range. So if the whole group is stacked, that benefits the whole group. If the group is dispersed in different places, some people will not benefit from it. The maximum elevated level a player can be is their current level plus 5. So if you are level 10 and you group up with a level 30, it's not going to change anything. But if you're level 10 and you are with a level 15, then it will change for you. The elevated level does not rank up your abilities in any way. In other words, your ability will not be more powerful as a result of this feature. Your stats are not boosted due to this change. There are no interface elements indicating what your elevated level is. More on this in a bit. NPC count color are still a reflection of your real adventure level, meaning that if a creature is yellow because you're level 10 and that creature is level 12, where if you are in this group with the level 15, the creature will still stay yellow even if your effective level is going to be level 14. Adventuring experience rewarded for kills continue to use your real adventuring level, not the elevated level. But what's the use for the elevated level then? Are you asking? Well, I'm glad you asked. What we mean here by effective level is the value put through the combat calculation. When the player hits an NPC or NPC hits the player, we look at the level difference to determine a few things such as higher level resist, advantage, disadvantage, and level adjustment armor class. Gel allow lower level players to group with higher level players and bypass any disadvantage they may have previously had going up against higher level NPC. For example, you are fighting with you're the one guy that has red mobs. Well, now those mobs are not going to resist all of your attack, so you can contribute. Why this approach? The challenge here was finding a way for group to be more inclusive while not pushing them towards higher level content. We feel that expanding the con system to upper level, expanding yellow, etc., will drive players towards higher level content, leaving lower level players in roughly the same position they are now. Gel allows for the expansion of the upper range for certain people within the group, with the limiting factor being the highest member of the group. In future update, we plan on changing the upper con range to a different color so that players more easily identify which mob they can safely tackle while gelled. As an example, if you are level 15 in a group whose max player is 21, then your elevated level will be 20. To you, level 16 and 17 mobs will appear yellow, while 18, 19 and 20 will appear red. If we add an additional color, let's say orange, and expand things slightly, then we could show 18, 19 and 20 as orange. While gelled to level 20, you will then know that anything yellow or orange was a fair game to you, while anything red is a bit of an unknown as those mobs will start to resist your attack. In those cases, you will need to rely on the higher level player in your group for an accurate assessment as to if your group can handle it. Gel is in early development and we are looking to gather as much feedback as possible on this solution. What do you like? What don't you like? Come gel with your friend. So, this whole ordeal, it's really to work on the ability for players to play together without altering too much of the content or trivialize it, etc. So basically, what it means is that you will be able to play with lower level player and bring them in your adventure. And if they are encountering yellow or red mob, maybe they can tackle them and feel like they can contribute to the group and not be just a burden. Yeah, I don't know. I think like this group elevated level is kind of a confusing system in its explanation. So I really do hope that when you play it, it's kind of intuitive and you understand it easily, etc. And you can make the difference between, okay, I'm in a group now with a big guy, so he's level 21, so now I'm level 20. This is great. And then when you will be in a different group where you all guys are 16 and you're going in the same place, and you will be like, oh my god, now we cannot do anything. You see, because with the group elevated level, you're kind of being boosted by a player, but hopefully player will understand how it works, which is why your feedback is super important. This is a feature that has been released like last week, before the community show, so it was not in the... when was it added? Friday, I think. Yeah, Friday, March 17. So I don't know if a lot of people have been testing it until now. I don't think so, but it will be nice to have some good feedback related to this feature before it makes to the patch. So guys, there is only one weekend left. Let's go. Shop, shop, shop. That's what we're talking about for this week in the QA notes. So as I explained, you can expect in the next patch several features like the new dungeon, the first person view, a few quests, a lot of change related to the combat, the abilities, the aura, and of course a lot of improvement regarding various systems and stuff and mobs and things like that. You can read all of the details over there, but we have been talking about that last week. And then you have the gel experience, which is quite a big deal because it could really improve the group experience, but who knows, it needs to be tested. I want to talk about a subject that is very important to me, and it's a discussion that is constantly ongoing through the community, on Discord, on the forum, and in-game, which is the small player base. So right now, we are a small community. We do not have a ton of players. We had more players some times ago. It has been decreasing. Let's be honest and frank. That's just a reality. So I would like to talk about several points related to that. First of all, I can understand how distressful it can be for people to see, oh, the community is decreasing, a lot of members of my guild have left the game, oh, a lot of people in the global chat, oh, there's less people playing the game, it's harder to make groups, it's there's less people, it's less active, it's less popular, what's happening, what's going on, the world is breaking, yeah, it's the apocalypse, the game is dead. All right, so we have a very small game and we expected to have a very small community. So this is not a surprise for us, considering that we have done a very niche game and we are not a AAA studio, so our game is not super flashy and super attractive to a large public. There's plenty of new game that have released and that has been successfully released, like World of Warcraft has done a big comeback with their new expansion. New World has done a big comeback with their expansion. Now you have plenty of other games that are brewing. You had Hogwarts Legacy, all kind of things. So people also have been busy because they had other games to play. So all in all, this kind of explain the decrease of the player, which is by the industry standard quite normal, and we have a very good retention actually, if we just observe the numbers. That being said, as we were a small game anyway, that makes it a very small community. So you may wondering, okay, fine, but is it going to stay that way? Because I cannot play this way. And you could be right. So no, obviously we're working actively on certain things. First of all, what we are doing right now is to really analyze, observe, discuss the pain points, what we can really work on as fast as possible, because we are a limited size team and we have a limited number of resources. So what are the key points we need to work on first? And we're really trying to do that. So everyone in the community will have a different opinion related to what it is. So we're making some decision. Are they the good decision? I don't know. We will see about that. But we are working actively on doing that. The second things we are to do is to reanalyze their first player experience, to really see how we can improve it, how we can introduce better player to our game, explain them what our game is all about, and what they can expect, etc., etc. We want to capture them a little bit better, so we are putting in place certain things. And then lastly, we are working on the marketing side, which is something we have been doing in the past, but apparently not in the right way, because the main pain point that we do have is that we do not really have any visibility. People do not know we exist, or if they know, they don't really care. So we need to do a better job at that, and so we are working on that part, but I cannot give you any more precision related to those plans. And then there is what you can do. What you can do, because you can do something. And being sad about it is not going to change anything. It's not going to improve the situation. Quite the contrary. It's going to worry some other people. It's going to put a bad mood. So it's very important when things are not going really well in any situation, even in life, it's to boost the mood and to boost the morale of people. All right, so I've written a text about that, how you can participate to this, how you can contribute to make the life of a small community more pleasant over here. So, like I was saying here, you can help too. This is obviously not your role, and no one is expecting it from you, but I know some of you are concerned and want to help. So here are a few ideas of how you can help. Simply being a kind, welcoming, and active player is already a true blessing. That alone is helping much more than you think. That's the first thing you can do to help. Is just be there, be kind, and be in good mood. Being cheerful and kind in the global chat goes a long way. Saying hi, answering questions, or simply sharing a few words can lighten up the chat and elevate the mood overall. The chat is much nicer if there is friendly talk in addition to the LFG message. Helping out other players that are looking for groups. Sometimes players are looking to do content that you do not need or that you have out-leveled, and that may be struggling to complete their group. Taking some time to help those players or filling up a slot in a group is truly epic. This is how we create a wonderful community. To gain more players, we need more visibility. It's not a secret that we do not have the marketing budget of a AAA studio. Therefore, any good old help to satisfy the algorithm is truly helpful. Like and retweet or tweet, comment on our video, speak about us in your community, be active on Reddit and our Facebook, spread the word about us. This helps much more than you know. This is where you can be of the most help in increasing the player base. That's of course if you want to do it. Don't feel forced to do it. But just a like on a tweet is, can seem like insignificant for you, but it can really help. Support our content creator. We have a really cool community of content creator on YouTube, Twitch, and social media. Content creators are community builders. Encouraging them and taking part in their chat is helping to shape the community. It helps them and it helps promote the game to potential new players. And lastly, if you want to go the extra mile, creating an event for the community is also something fantastic that can help the feeling of togetherness. Do not hesitate to contact me in the case you want to organize something for help of any kind. There it is. If you want to read this thread, it is written in the forum. My goal with this thread is really to give ideas to the people that feel concerned and who like to do something, so you do not feel powerless. It is of course not your duty. It is of course not something you must to do. I mean, you can not care at all. It is your right. You're the customers, so you're the king, right? But if you want to help out, if you want to participate, you can do it, and that's a few suggestions. There it is. That's all for this part of the show. Okay, I'm going to answer some question. Hi. Hello everyone. So let me answer your question. in the order. So, rhyme covered maze. Here for the small community. I made 4 friends my first day. That's so cool. I'm so happy. That's really a great news. That's really nice. So I know that a small community do have good side and bad side. If the small community is tight-knit and work well together, that's when you can really see something beautiful happening. I know that because we have been testing the game with literally 12 players for many years. Like maybe we had 20 testers in all, and so we were like 12 current players with the dev team. It was a very, 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 very teeny team at that moment, but yet something really nice happened, and Alice can speak about that. We were like a bunch of people, but we got to know each other. We got to make friendship, make bonds. Just Drakati is saying, I really love this game, and I do what I can to support. I love the step you're making like gel. So far, I feel like there is a fair amount of content for me to do, be it solo or group. I recommend joining a guild or having a good pool of friends to adventure with. That's also something I've not been discussing about, but it's very true, to know some people and to make some friends, may it be in a guild or a cross guild. And when you have a small community, it can be easier because you will see the same name all the time. And if you are nice to people, they will remember you. Drakati is saying there are some frustrating things that can drive some players away, like experience rate at high level and drop rate of gear. Better chest reward or drop rate reward from bosses can be that carrot on a stick. I also feel a monolith in the city will really help the trading marketplace aspect, where players can port right to the city and it will feel more like a central hub. I kind of like that idea, Drakati. And there's plenty of things that we can improve, and these are the kind of things that are constantly being discussed and among the team. So you don't need to worry that is my feedback listened to. I can promise you that most feedback, I'm not saying 100%, but I think it's close to 100%. Most feedback is really being considered, discussed among us. I am not present at all design meeting, obviously, because it's not my job. But I am present during several meetings per week, including the big weekly meeting that we have every Wednesday night. And we are really discussing thoroughly of all those discussions. So there is a lot of things that can, and then undone, mostly need to find some solution to some problem that are maybe very difficult to put in place because of the tech, because of the time, because of the resource. If we had a big team, we could work much faster. And I know I come back a lot with this element, but it's just true. There's sometimes a solution we say, yeah, that would be great. We would love to do that, but we can't because we don't have the manpower to. So no, could we have guild seller store in the ability to mail item to each other, please? Or in guild bank, thanks. Yeah, well, that's first the guild seller, probably not. That's probably not something we're going towards. Mail item, that may be something, but it is technically very difficult to put in place. And guild bank, same thing. Because it requires a lot of permission, it's a lot of work, and right now the dev that take care of those type of aspects is really busy with other more important tasks. So that's the reason why all of the guilds stuff, we have been revamping the guild system last month, but those type, the guild bank, the guild storage, the mail system, all of that's going to be further down the line. So it is good ideas, but this is not going to happen anytime soon. Necromancer is saying, yes, like a setup, a personal shop stand, and people can just come up and browse item that you can set price for, so you don't have to spam trade chat. But I don't think we want to go in that direction for the trades. In any case, for now, it's really a technical limitation. To develop such a system will require a lot of time from our dev, which is currently working on priority task. So we're not going to to even work on that anytime soon. But also, I am not sure what is our position from a more theoretical level, like what we want to do. I think for now we want to keep it trader to trader. Like people are trading between themselves, they need to discuss, they need to connect with each other. But a mail system, that is something we have acknowledged will be nicer, with where you can make a payment by the mail, for example. We have been thinking about that. For now, I organize once a month a fair trade. If one of you want to volunteer to organize a fair trade another day of the month, we can start to make a regular event that happen every week. But I cannot commit myself to every Sunday do that. But if we can make a rotation for the trade fair, then we can have a weekly moment where every player are gathering in the city to do their trade. I think that could help really well the trade in general. And it's very much organic, and it feels a little bit like in real life. You know, in real life you can go to the market every week a certain time of the day. So I think that could be a nice idea. I will try to see if I can have some help regarding to that. I just don't want to commit to do that every Sunday of the week, because realistically sometimes I need to be free on a new event. So I have decided to organize every Tuesday, that's today, a weekly event where I'm using this character, which is my flexible character. So let me introduce you to Elloa with a single L, which is my flexible character. As someone so smartly mentioned it, it's another way to say that it's a GM cheated character. The good thing, she can be exactly what you want her to be, and she never take any loot. So I invite you to play with me every Tuesday from 9 p.m. Central Europe, which is 2 p.m. Central America, except for this week it's 3 p.m. This event will be organized on Discord. I will be in-game and on Discord voice chat. My level and class will depend on what's needed. So I'm asking you to sign up. How to sign up? If you want to save a spot in my group, you must sign up here at least the day before the event. Sign up with your in-game name, class, and level. If I have more than 5 players, you may be noted as reserve, and I will give player 5 minutes after the starting time to arrive before I start looking for replacement. Reserve will be contacted first. How to request an event? You are welcome to request the organization of a group for your level. You simply suggest it in the thread. I will do my best to fulfill requests as early as possible. So the 2 events that are planned are today, Northreach Exile Fort for level 10 plus. We already have 1 person signing up. And the Tuesday 28 March, it will be, of course, the new dungeon, so Darkstone Depth, but I've written just the depth at this point. There it is. So that's a new weekly event I'm organizing. So hopefully it will be fun. We can organize events for different level level range. It doesn't matter, because I can boost this character and unlevel her and be a tank and be a healer and be a striker. It doesn't matter. Hi Charlie, I'm so happy to have you here for the first time on the weekly community show. So as it's the first time you join us, can you please introduce yourself to the viewer?
Sure. Most people will probably know me on Discord and throughout the game as Charlizd. My name's Andrew. I'm the lead world builder with Embers Adrift and Stormhaven Studios. And yeah, I'm hopefully the one that's been making these beautiful worlds for you guys to be running around and enjoying.
So can you explain a little bit how you started?
I actually started out. This was just a bit of a hobby, something to do. I mean, I've been playing games for a very long time, and me and a bunch of friends that I used to play games with, one day said, "How about we try and make a game?" And we did. We tried to make something, and and we were using, I think, the Hero engine back in the day, and it never really took off or did anything, but we had a lot of thought and stuff behind it, and I was actually the only one that really kind of kept progressing with it. So I stepped away from that and went and did my diploma in 3D game design and entered a couple of random competitions with Shrouded Avatar and Bobby, and that kind of all drifted away. And yeah, and I just kept doing it as a hobby. And then one day I come across the guys when they were working on the previous title and made a few comments, and Bobby Undone recognized my name from when we were in the competition before, and asked me to reach out to the guys and express my interest. And yeah, history is made, and here I am.
Yeah, this is really cool because we kind of arrived in Stormhaven Studio at the same time, you and me.
We certainly did,
Yeah.
and I think it was really good timing that we kind of popped on at the same time. So
Yeah, indeed, it was cool. So I remember very well this first steps was the sharing of all the cool stuff you were doing, and that was really nice. So let's
yeah,
speak a little bit about that new dungeon that the player are going to play around. So what is this dungeon? It's quite special because it's really your creation. It has a little special story about it.
it does actually. It was the very first thing that I ever made and showed the guys on what I would like to bring to the table. So it's actually one of the oldest pieces ever built for this company, and it's going to now be reignited back into the game. So there's a lot of hard work put into it, and still a lot of hard work to be put into it. But I do hope that it kind of brings back the old feel and the feel of what dungeons should be like, or what you used to anyway. I just hope that we can deliver, and I'm pretty confident we will um, deliver an enjoyable experience in there for you guys to play. So.
Yeah, and what I really like about that dungeon, and that fits really well, it's that it's the oldest piece that you have created, but it's also some very old ruins. So it really gives this a kind of ancestral things, depth into which you are going to explore, and yeah, it's really really interesting.
Oh, for sure, and there's a lot of stuff within this dungeon that I mean, I'm pretty sure there's still some things in there I haven't actually told the guys about. So there will be some Easter eggs throughout the dungeon. I'm not going to say what they are, or how you're going to find them, but the premise of this dungeon is to explore every nook and cranny and see what you can encounter.
So there's three phases in this dungeon. We are releasing the first phase now. Can you explain a little bit the size or the scope of the dungeon?
It's big. The whole thing is big. That's why we've decided to break it down into different phases. So basically, the phases will be kind of taken across the levels of the dungeon. Currently, the overall dungeon size itself is probably 4 levels, but each level in itself is quite large, and each level as it progresses through also has new encounters and new things within it that's going to hopefully make it different to the previous part that you've been experienced. Um, it's going to be a fun ride. That's all I can say.
And related to the layout of the dungeon, do you have several different wings, or are you going to dig deeper? You're going to go below? Each phase is further down in the ground, something like that?
Yeah, so each phase will be delving deeper down into the dungeon itself. So it's not really laid out in a set way. It's kind of all over the place. It's going to probably quite easily to get lost, but once you do learn the layout, it'll be fine. But for the most part, whatever way you go will eventually lead you to where you need to be for the next step of it. So there's lots of different wings and different areas throughout the dungeon to hopefully make it not feel like you're running around in the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah, I saw it. It's quite interesting, and it reminded me some memories from when we firstly tested it back in. Oh my god, that was a long time ago. It was cool. So, what is your creative process to create all those places?
Um, a lot of things. I mean, a lot of it's just off the top of my head. I guess I'm trying to build something that I would enjoy playing, something that I would enjoy getting involved in myself. Because, as I said, I'm a gamer from way back. So, when I create these zones and the dungeons and stuff like that, I'm creating something that I would enjoy being a part of. So, but a lot of it also comes from other games. I get a lot of inspiration from other games. I can no longer play games like I used to because I spend half an hour to an hour in a game, and I start getting all these ideas, and I'm like, okay, it's time for me to go and try and incorporate something similar to this into our game. So, but yeah, a lot of the inspiration comes from other games and seeing what other developers make. A lot of my overland zones, not they're not so much based on places that I've been, but places that I've seen and that I've really liked. So I've not tried to copy them, but I've tried to get similar ideas. Meadowlands itself, it's a little bit different to the concept art, but it's actually very similar to an area that I used to live, and that's where I kind of base it off. So a lot of the way that I set the zones up are kind of based on places that I've visited or that I've seen on documentaries or whatever. Um, so yeah, but for the most part, most of it just comes from the top of my head. I just do what I think feels good, and I hope that it works out. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes I have to go in and change things and reconfigure things, which is part of the journey, I guess. We're all kind of learning as we're going. So.
Midland is my favorite zone, so I'm quite excited to learn that it is inspired from a place where you were living. So, how it was to live in Midland?
Well, I kind of grew up in the city, but I spent a lot of time out in the country. I feel at heart I'm a country boy. Um, I feel most at home when I'm kind of out bush, and so my parents lived in a place in kind of inland and off the coast of New South Wales here in Australia, and they had it was only about 25 acres of land, their property, but right across the road from their property was just this big vacant meadow, and that's where pretty much I got Meadowlands from. And there was the rivers and all of that kind of stuff were running through it. With not the same as what's in Meadowlands, but the same kind of idea. We didn't have town water or anything like that. We our water came from rain tanks, and the dam water is what fed the cattle. So um, yeah, so everything that I kind of build is somewhere that I ever want to visit, or somewhere that's close to me that I want to be. So.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. I really love the flower field that there is. It really gives this very special touch. So, what would be your favorite zone from everything you have created?
That's a tough one. My favorite zone is probably one that's not in the game yet, but it's not actually one that I created. It's one that I kind of added onto. Bobby was actually the original creator of this zone, and I've kind of just spiced it up a little bit. That would probably be my favorite. But out of the ones that's in the game now that people can play, um, I'd have to say my favorite that I've enjoyed building was probably Grey Hollow
Oh,
Gorge. That was probably my favorite. I really like that, the whole canyon feel. It can be a bit boring and a bit bland in terms of color and stuff like that. But yeah, that's probably my favorite actual zone in itself that I've built. Only because there's a lot. Again, there's a lot of things in that zone that people don't know about. and hopefully we can get it working well enough that we're kind of blow people's minds. But if there was one of the best things I felt that I built that I enjoyed in most of the zones is, again, it's something that people can't play yet, but that will be to keep in Dryfoot. I was really happy with how that kind of turned out, and I hope that once people actually get in there, they'll enjoy it as much as I did building it. So.
Oh, that's so cool. I'm very excited. So to end this little interview, what kind of zone would you like to bring to life in future?
I've got my mind on a couple. I don't want to say too much about them, but they're probably going to be a little bit more out there compared to what you've seen so far. The way that I want to kind of design the zone, if you can think of Avatar, the movie Avatar, if you can think of something like that, that's something that I'm going to head towards.
Ooh, nice. That's really exciting. Very nice. Well, thank you so very much for joining this little interview. That was really great. I hope you will want to come back again.
Oh, definitely. Thank you very much for having me on. I'll be more than happy to come back again sometime. Hopefully when we can make it a regular thing when we start bringing out some new zones or new dungeons and stuff, we can get on here and chat and explain where we're coming from with them.
Yes, absolutely. It's very interesting. And I really love everything you have built. It's really beautiful. So very excited for the future as well.
Definitely very excited. There's a lot of really cool things coming, guys. So bear with us. We're a small team and we're working the best that we can. And yeah, we got some really exciting things down the track for you guys to experience.
See you soon. Bye bye, Charlizd.
Bye bye.
We are buying embering now. And so what we can do is /QA, and then I teleport to the quartermaster alcove immediately. So that's one of the new things that has been added to the QA server. So you're lost in retro forests or in the middle of a dungeon, you don't know what to do, then you do that /QA and you will be teleported to the quartermaster alcove. This alcove also now serves as a giant ember ring. So we will see about here. Here you can see my regeneration. So I was wounded and now I'm automatically regenerating. So when I'm doing my business, I want to have some potion. I want to get into my inventory or into my bank. No, that's not my bank. That's the Emberstone thing. Into my bank, etc. I can check that out. As you can see as well, there is a monolith over here. So will we have a monolith in New Haven City? I am personally in favor of that, but I'm not sure if everyone in the team is in favor of that. In any case, that's what I wanted to show you related to the new QA feature. Revi saying, I always like teeny tanks. I'm using me too. They're very irritating when you're a healer too, because you don't find them. But otherwise, it's fun. Yeah, I think a lot of people would like a monolith, so, but I'm not really sure what the other people of the team think. Okay, so if you want to deal with the first person, you have two options. You have a game keybind, so you can bind something. Where that will be. Yeah, zoom in, zoom out. So zoom in, we're going to do this, and zoom out, we're going to do that. Okay. No, 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 no. We're not doing this. We're not doing that. First person camera. Do I have a... Yeah, I'm using a V already. What button will I choose? I'm going to choose... Voila. Okay, so I've bound. Otherwise, you have another option, which is in the gameplay, where you can use the enable zoom to first person. Okay, enable zooming in transition to a first person view. Without this toggle, you can only enter exit first person via a key. Okay, so but for now I have problem with my mouse. So I have trouble with my mouse. It doesn't scroll very well for some reason. So I cannot show you, but otherwise you can do it with scrolling the mouse. Otherwise, I'm going to use this key that I have just updated in my keybind. So you have to do it yourself, right? It's not by default. And there you have the first person. So do we have target dummy? So I can show you the combat. There's one in the QA. The quartermaster alcove, but maybe but we're going to fight this raccoon. Of course, I'm very high level in comparison to him, but just to see the first person view, so you can observe it. So you can see your weapon. It's not to the Elder Scrolls Online level, but see, let's change weapon. I'm going to fight this rat. Will you see? Yeah, you can see my butler. You don't see my arm because to make this we've made the character invisible. So it's a little trick, but you kinda have the idea, right? Oh, nice. Well, then you absolutely have to... Okay, fight. I am fighting another rat. So you see, I'm level 33. This mob is probably level 8. I will not say I can get in trouble, but I'm not sneezing on the mob is dead. You see what I mean? So maybe if I use an ability to go faster. Yeah, there we go. All right. Okay, now I'm going to change character. So here I'm out of first person view. I'm back into third person view. Go with my torch, actually. It's going to be better. How is the torch in first person? Okay. All right. That's how it is. Yeah. I don't know if it's the exits. It's probably the exits. Yeah, zone turret, sure. So no, we're not going in that direction. So you can see a little bit the atmosphere of the first dungeon. Like I told you, I do not know very well the layouts. So I'm just checking. Yeah. Here you have just this room. And then you need to go deeper. There we go. All right. So that's how we start. The music is so cool, don't you think? You see, it's quite different. The atmosphere is different. It's the first big project of Charlizd when he was in the team, like he described. You can hear the music. Oh shit, sorry. Okay. Now you can. Hello Erebus. So this game, it has been released the 15th of October, so it is very much playable. It's still in development because we are constantly adding new content to it. And there's plenty of content that need to be added. So the game is not completely completed, but I'm trying to show you without showing you too much. This looks like a haunted cavern, yeah, right? And like I say, I'm not really sure of the layout or anything of this area. So I'm discovering. Well, I've been fighting and such, but it's quite labyrinthic, so it's not so easy to remember where everything is. But yeah, so it's still a dungeon, it's still old ruins and underground content, but you can see that it is not the same asset that the Ember vein and the central vein has been made of. So it will be a different type. Yeah, it is quite different. But you see, there's plenty of wing, you have different paths to take. If you have any question related to the game, Tin Man and Erebos, feel free to ask. I'm very glad to get you here. So this is the content we're going to release next week. So it is a little bit spoiler here. If you don't want to be spoiled, don't watch this, obviously, because I'm showing you the new dungeon that's coming in next week. So the dungeon level is for level 28 up to 32. It's the first phase. Look at this. So cool. The first phase. And then there will be different phase for the deeper content. So you're going deeper and deeper. Yeah. Yeah, all of our underground dungeon are kind of claustrophobic. But yeah, like you see, it's quite different from everything else we have shown into the game, right? I think that's just one room. Don't know if we can go further. Going deeper can only lead to blue. I know, right? So Cyanide, when you get far enough into the already made plan for the game, will you increase the level cap for more content? No, I don't. I think we will more develop more content and harder, more challenging content rather than rising the level cap. I'm not saying we will never raise the level cap, because that will obviously done at some point, but not immediately. So once the everything we have promised will be introduced in the game, we will continue by proposing more challenging content for max level, basically. Please never make a item level. I know we don't want to do that. But you will certainly have to get more powerful items to do the more challenging content. But I don't think we want to do a second sort of progression beyond. I don't know exactly, actually. So let's just visit a little bit these other wings over there, and then I think we're going to stop so you don't see everything. Yeah, you see the type of environment we have. Here it's kind of very tight, little holes. You have some resource. You have an egress point, an exit. Some ruins. No. We want to keep a very honest monetization. free content. That's part of the subscription, you know. You guys pay a monthly subscription is to have a service. That service is providing you new content. That doesn't mean there will never be an expansion. That might be something we are going to consider, but then it will have the size of an expansion, not a little DLC. So obviously it's also important to see if the monetization as we wish is working out, because I think outside of a subscription, the fairest way to have a fair monetization would be DLC rather than cosmetic shops. But I don't think that's the direction we want to take, because our goal is to provide content for you guys as part of the monthly sub that you guys are paying. So we really don't like the current monetization in general. So I do believe that this could lead further down, right? That's probably going to be phase 2. Okay, so you can see how it can go. This is pretty labyrinthic. We're going to stop here because I don't want to show you more than that. So I am going to do the new QA. Oh no, I need to be close and embering. Never mind me. I'm going to use my GM command, which is zone 2, 182. You can try, it will not work. And that's about it. Will there ever be another paid system for the game like ESO Plus, for example? No, because you are kinda in ESO Plus, right? Your monthly sub is the equivalent of ESO Plus. So the monetization we want is the old school, you pay your monthly sub and you have access to the game. So you have to pay the box, which the price has been reduced. It's only $30, and the monthly sub has also been reduced to $10 per month. So we have a competitive price in a market that is more and more encouraging free-to-play type of game and monetization, with a very heavy marketing upon the cash shop, which is not what we want to do. We don't want to have a cash shop. We want to have a monthly sub and a box cost, so we can pay our dev and continue to develop the game. We don't want to make a ton of money on your back. We just want to grow and develop our studio, maybe hire a developer or two more. That would be really great if we can expand our team a little bit. I think that is kind of the dream of the team, is to be able to expand our team and expand our project so we can really work on the development of this game further. But we have not created a game for making a ton of money. Otherwise, we will have taken a very different route. This is not the business model or the type of game to make a ton of money. But we do believe that it's a honest product. We are a hard-working team, and we are offering some content that does not exist, at least not on a renewed form, because you can still play EverQuest, of course, or you can still play Dark Age of Camelot or some of those games, maybe not all of them, in some fashion, but the experience is different and it's not anything new. So we wanted to do a new old school experience. Some people are saying that it's over, and it's not the time anymore, but a lot of the players that are playing this game are proving that it is not correct, that there is some people that can really beneficiate from this type of experience. May they be nostalgic about it because they have known that in the past and they are missing it, or may they be new players that have never had the chance to know this experience and to forge bonds with other players, etc. So there's plenty of things that we need to improve for the game. We're very aware of that. Every player have a strong or not as strong opinion regarding the direction we should take. But we are, regardless of the decision we are making, we are listening to the feedback of our player. We are considering it. we're discussing about it between us, and then we are making decision knowing that every system put in place have very big consequences. It's really much like a domino line, you know? You take one decision, you change something that seems to be a really great idea, but it has all kind of consequences. So us as a team, we need to think about the consequence anything we are doing will have on long term, and also have in consideration what we're capable of doing in how much time and with our resource, because we are very limited in terms of manpower and resource and time. So we really need to take all of those aspects in mind when we take a decision, which is why it's not always the most popular decision which is taken, but everything is being considered. And there it is. So that's about the game. Thank you so very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Do not hesitate to ask your question or your request for new content, new interview in the comments below. Please like this video and share it with your friends, and I will see you next time. Do not forget also that you can join me live every Tuesday. The show starts at 6 p.m. Central Europe time, which will be next week, 11 a.m. Central American time, if I calculate correctly. Thank you so much. You take care of yourself, take care of your loved one, and see you soon. Bye.